Kidding? Just one shot?
They're not all zombies, Doug. How do you fight this thing?
Maybe we could drown it in A1 sauce.
Well, sometimes that is better. The person you put up there ain't the person that comes back.
It's a dance song to get down with. About 6 feet under. Get there.
Ooh, I love this song. I'm hung up in a grave situation.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama.
Hello and welcome to episode 164 of the Rotten Views podcast. We have another fun one set up for you guys today, and I appreciate, thank you all for coming back to another episode to listen to me talk about horror movies, action movies, whatever we might have planned for the future, and I appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys keep coming back for some odd reason. Maybe you have it saved to your auto playlist, and maybe it's just playing randomly with the new episodes drop on Spotify, or maybe you come out and search it. I appreciate either way. If this is your first video, we got a ton of other content you can check out on Spotify and YouTube and all this other fun stuff, but I appreciate it nonetheless. If you're a returning listener or a new listener, nonetheless, thank you. Before we get into the podcast episode at hand, before we get into the movie that we're going to be discussing for this episode, I just want to put out some, other work that we have. Make sure to follow us on all social medias. I don't know why I'm saying all, or us. There's only me here. There's nobody else. I do all the editing and all the other stuff behind the promotion and whatnot. Follow me at Typhonstein on all social medias. You have TikTok you can go to. You have the Facebook page. You have Instagram. You have X, you have Threads, but the main thing that I post a lot on and that I'm trying to promote more and more each and every week is the YouTube channel. Definitely go check out the YouTube channel. We have old episodes of the podcast going up. We have the weekly game video that drops each and every Wednesday, and then we also have various shorts. And I also do some live streams on there as well. I can't talk tonight, just like any other night. I can't talk. We also have the Twitch channel if you want to check out the Twitch channel. I haven't been live streaming much this month. It's been a busy month for me, but we will be getting back into doing that a little bit more often, and I enjoy doing it. It's just trying to find all the time to do everything that I want to do in 1 week. It's nearly impossible, to be honest with you, but nonetheless we still figure it out each and every week, and we have some other content coming out that I'm not going to really talk about too much, because you'll hear about it on the other older episodes, and it's still just a work in progress, because it's just little old me here just trying to figure everything out and figure out a nice good timeline so I can start dropping the other thing, but also have a good backup of episodes already ready, because what I want to do is get a catalog built up for this as well, like have 3 or 4 episodes ready to go whenever, that way I don't have to rush them out each and every week. This episode is actually being recorded on the episode that just dropped, Street Trash. So, that's how the magic of podcasting works. But you guys aren't here to listen to me blabber about all that other fun stuff. You're here to listen to me talk about the 1985 movie Demons, because I haven't watched this in a while, and I figured it was time to return to it. Before I get into it, though, like always, I talk about the movie from start to finish, hit all the points in between, or at least the points that catch my eye. And if you don't want to be spoiled for a movie that came out in 1985, you can definitely pause it now. You can actually find the movie in full on YouTube. It's pretty decent quality. There's actually a couple versions of it as well, or different uploads, so you can definitely find it on YouTube. So if you really want to, you can pause this episode of the podcast now, unless you're at work or driving, then you can't, so you're just stuck with listening to me talk about the movie. But if not, if you're at home, you can definitely pause the podcast and go watch it, and then hopefully come back, because we need you here. I need you here. Like I said, it's only me here. It's depressing, it's dark and lonely. Please be my friend. I'm kidding. It's fine. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast episode, and we'll get right into the movie now. So this movie has a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. 87% of Google users apparently like this movie. Original release date in Italy was October 4th, 1985. There's a sequel, Demons 2. And then, director Lamberto Bava, who's also known for doing Demons 2, Body Puzzle, and Devilfish. All the movies I want to watch. These are the 4 that pop up known for on IMDb. The other one being Demons as well. Where he's the director in all those movies, but maybe we'll add Body Puzzle and Devilfish to the list because those sound like fun. They sound like fun. One of the writers was Dardano Skashashit. I butchered that last name, and I'm good at doing that. I don't mean to, so hopefully nobody takes offense to it. Let's try that again. Dardano Skashiti. I don't know. We're just gonna go back. We go away from that. He's also known for being the writer for Devilfish, the writer for 1990, The Bronx Warriors, bunch of other movies I'm not even gonna try and pronounce because I'm just gonna butcher the Italian names. Also, the one of the writers might be this guy, Dario Argento, known for like Deep Red. Apparently, they're saying one of his other ones is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I've never even heard of that movie. Don't judge me, okay? And Tenebrae from 1982 and Phenomia, also known as, by the looks of it, it looks like it's also known as Creepers from 1985. Apparently he's got a screenplay for Dark Glasses for 2022. Also known for a bunch of other really good movies. Two Evil Eyes, The Church. We're just going through his list a little bit. The Cat o' Nine Tails. Everyone likes Cat o' Nine Tails, right? But yeah, I was just kind of rambling on about Argento. Very well known Italian director. I'm sure everyone already knows about him. I don't know why I'm even discussing that any more than I need to. The description synopsis on IMDb: a group of random people are invited to a screening of a mysterious movie, only to find themselves trapped in the theater with ravenous demons. And as we always do, we also go to the tagline: they will make cemeteries their cathedrals, and the cities will be your tombs. Trivia: the building used for the exteriors of the Metropolitan Theater still stands in Berlin. It's a club called Goya that's been hosted to several horror conventions thanks to his appearance in the film. Wow, I can't talk, can I? Really? I really can't. I'm horrible at this, and you guys keep coming back, so I appreciate it. But yeah, we're just going to jump right into the movie now, so if you guys don't want to be spoiled, feel free to pause at this point in time, and then come back later on once you're done watching the movie.
Presents Saturday Night at the Movies, the television series which each week brings you the finest in recent motion pictures. Tonight,
the preview you are about to watch is for a movie that is unlike any you have ever seen before. It is for a movie that goes beyond temporary fear to everlasting terror. It is a movie called Demons. Yes, the demons are coming, and they're coming for you. Warning. If you have the courage to see demons, sit near an exit. Otherwise, you might never get out. In your theater, who will survive the touch of the demons and who will not? Demons. With music by Billy Idol, Motley Crue, The Adventures, Rick Springfield, and Saxon. This is no dream. This is happening right now. And it could be happening to you. Demons. They will make cemeteries their cathedrals, and the cities will be your tombs. Will you survive it? Demons.
But we're going to jump right into it. The music just starts hitting you. We've got black screen with some basic white intro credits popping on, and then we have the cool Demons font that's all curved, and it looks like demon claws went through it. Then coming through the darkness, we hear this noise, and then we see these two headlights coming at us, and it's a subway car. And then we go into the subway car where we see just a bunch of people just relaxing, just sitting there waiting to get to wherever they're going as the music starts jamming out a little bit, and we just pan around the subway cart, looking at the various people there on the cart waiting to go wherever the hell they're going. I honestly gotta say, I forgot how good this intro song is, and I'm actually probably gonna have to eventually add this to a playlist. Maybe I'll make a little relaxing, jamming horror playlist at some point in time. I don't know. I see lots of people making old video game console playlist, so maybe we'll do a horror movie playlist. Who knows? Then there's one lady's looking around. Her name is Cheryl, and she sees something in a reflection of the glass behind her, or the window behind her. And we just see this guy with like this Terminator face, because half of his face is just like a metal plate with a red robotic eye. And she starts freaking out a little bit, and she's like, everyone's just looking around, kind of smiling. And she's kind of, you can definitely tell she's a little bit paranoid at this point in time, because she doesn't look comfortable. Train stops at one of its various, destinations, and Cheryl gets off, and we see everyone kind of like disappearing from the stop, and she's just walking around, looking a little nervous, a little bit scared. And as she's walking away, she starts hearing a sound coming behind her. Kind of looks like it's footsteps as well as like kind of like a chain moving at one point, and she's a little bit paranoid about it, and she keeps getting, more and more paranoid as the sound gets closer and closer. And then we see it's that guy with the metal face, and she just starts booking it down the railway. Not on the actual tracks by any means, but like on the platform, I guess you could call it. It's funny how she gets on like the escalator to go up, and she's all relaxed and stuff, and she doesn't run up the escalator. She just stands there and waits for it to take her up. By the time she gets to the top of the cart, we see the guy with the metal face there, and he hands her a ticket to the movie theater and walks away. And that's all it was. And she's all paranoid about like what the hell just happened. And we see him walking down the alleyway or the hallway. A bunch of other people start coming to the picture, and he starts handing out the same flyer to them for the movie theater. And she's like, oh, he's just inviting me to something. I was freaking out thinking he was going to kill me for no reason. So then she goes up to him. He's like, can I have another one? It's actually from my friend. Also, are you dressed up like this for the promotion of the film? And he just stares off and walks off into the distance somewhere. Be like, I ain't answering your questions, lady. I'm a mime. And she gets outside of the station, finds her friend Kathy, and she's like, sorry, I'm late. She's like, of course you're late. You're always late. You're some good friend. You're just always late. And they're both looking at the flyer, and they're like, well, where is the Metropole? I'm like, I don't know either. None of us know where it actually is. So why don't we just skip our class and just go check it out anyways? It could be a good film to go see. Then we see a shot of the Metropole neon sign up on the wall. It's flashing and everything. And then we cut and see inside. There's a dirt bike that has a mannequin on top of it in a medieval outfit, who's also holding a chrome devil skull. Unique, but whatever. We'll go with it. And then we cut and see this girl who's in an elf outfit, like pulling up the bottom of her dress. It looks like an elf outfit. I'm just saying, it probably isn't. Just green and white, but whatever. And then next thing you know, she's got a flashlight walking around the Metro, and we see Kathy and Cheryl outside, and now it's nighttime. It wasn't nighttime before. And then, they get there, and she's like, oh, you don't think it's going to be a horror movie, right? I hate horror movies. I mean, like, the guy had half a metal face and didn't talk to you, and he's promoting the movie, so most likely it's not a romance, but maybe it is. What do I know? Then we see this old couple inside the theater, and they're walking around the lobby area. The wife's like, I didn't know there was a movie theater. And the husband, Frank's like, yeah, it was closed years ago. It just apparently happened to open up again, I guess. And we have two guys checking out the dirt bike, being like, oh, it's such a fantastic bike. So fucking fantastic. It's like, why do you have a dirt bike in your lobby? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I've never seen a movie theater with a dirt bike and a lobby that is also ridden by a mannequin that's a medieval knight holding a chrome demon skull. Yeah, I said that twice already, but that's fine. It's okay. It makes sense, right? Italians. Perfectly makes sense. Those two guys then go over and help Kathy and Cheryl, who are having an issue with the vending machine because it won't give them the drink that they just bought. So they kind of smack it up a little bit and Kathy, I thought you didn't like being late for the movie. Well, everyone else is in the lobby. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This one girl takes the chrome mask off the bike, and she puts it on his face. Like, look at me now, look at me. And then she goes to take it off, and she cuts herself. And there wasn't that girl and the guy. The guy's like, suits you right for touch stuff that's not yours, huh? And we see the two guys that help the girls get the drink out of the vending machine decide to sit down beside them because, there's a lot of other empty seats in this here. Even though when we saw the guy who was handing out flyers to everyone. But I guess not too many people want to go check it out. Then the movie starts on the screen with a poorly lit, biker movie. Or it's a group of people on two motorcycles as they're pulling up to this dark-looking haunted house. I'm sure it's fine. Everyone's pretty much just in a trance as they're watching this movie. And then we see the elf-looking lady walking through the seats with her flashlight out, being like, yeah, the movie just started, but I'm just going to take a look at it all. You guys make sure you're not doing anything bad. Like nobody snuck in, even though it wasn't that busy to begin with. And one of the girls that's with the biker guys in the movie, she finds the tagline written on a random rock inside the movie. It's like, oh, we should stop. We should definitely check this out. Nostradamus was buried around here, apparently. And then we see a group of actors. They're all off their bikes now. They're walking through this ruins area. And for whatever reason, I forgot to mention this. One of the people that go to see the movie is also a girl named Liz and her blind husband. or boyfriend or pimp. I don't know. Well, I don't know what the situation is between them. But yeah, she's got to explain to him what's happening the whole time. He's like, are they scared? Oh, yeah, they're scared. They're going through ruins and a tunnel and stuff. They might die. So yeah, they're a little bit scared. I find like one of the girls that's with that one guy who laughed because she cut her face. Started smoking. I'm like, oh yeah, time when you could smoke back in the theater. And then I believe her name is Ingrid the usherette. She turned around and said, no smoking in here. Then Liz, the girl that's with the blind guy, some other random guy just sits down beside her, and they start making out and start feeling each other up. It's like, so did you have this planned out the whole time? Like, or is he just a random guy that came and sat down beside you and you're like, might as well. My boyfriend's blind. Then the people in the movie are exploring the ruined crypt a little bit more, and then they find this one random thing on the floor. It's like, hey, this has a seal on it. Let's go check it out. Let's, try and clean it off and open it and see what's inside. Apparently it's like the tomb of Nostradamus, and they're like, yeah, let's open it. Let's just take it out. Take a look at it and see what's inside. And one of the girls is like, come on, let's go. It's dark and creepy down here. Can we leave, please? Then, something spooky happens in the movie. So then the guy who sits down beside Cheryl goes to grab her hand because he gets scared first. He's like, oh, hi, sorry. My name's George, by the way. And then we come back to the movie where they finally get the crypt open, and shocking enough, there's no bones inside, even though it doesn't look like it's big enough to hold a human being in it anyways. But they did find a book that's all in Latin, and the one guy's like, I can't figure it out. It's in Latin. I don't know what I'm doing. Then also inside the crypt, they find this mask that looks like the exact same mask that was on the dirt bike that's in chrome, but this one's now in like a flat gray. And apparently the one guy's looking at the book. He's like, hey, wait, this says if you put on the mask, you become a demon. And the guy just laughs like, yeah, sure I will. And then when he takes the mask off, we actually see his cheek is now cut somehow. And the girl who had the mask on in the lobby, she's like, oh, my cheek's bleeding. I'll be back later. And then we find out apparently the guy's name is Tony. And then the other girl that's sitting with him, she's like, you see that? That mask, it's the same mask that cut, what's her face out there in the lobby. He's like, it's just a bunch of horse scrap. Don't worry about it. And then the lady who got her cheek cut finally makes her way to the washroom, and she's like freaking out because her cheek cut. She's like, "Oh my god, it's just bleeding. It's just blood, lady. Just chill out. It's a little cut. It's nothing big. Your face isn't scarred for life." But then as she's looking in the mirror, we see the cut starting to move a little bit. And then out of nowhere, this white pus starts gushing out of it. And she starts screaming. And at the same time that's going on, in the movie, the guy who cut his cheek is actually seen stabbing the other guy. And the other girls are all screaming and freaking out. And then one girl in the movie theater is like, oh my god, is it over? It's so scary. So scary. And Tony, the pimp-looking guy, is like, what happened to Rosemary? Why is she back? Yeah, she just went to go wash her face. So then the other girl's like, I'll just go check, make sure she's okay. Us girls like to pee together in the washroom. I'm sure she's fine. And that girl finally gets to the washroom. She's looking around. She's like, Rosemary, where are you, Rosemary? And then she looks at the sink, and we see some blood on a towel and whatnot. And we just hear some crying coming from a stall. So she then goes to the last stall to look in. We see Rosemary with her face up against the wall, and she's like, Rosemary, what's going on? What are you okay? We see Rosemary's hand pop up, and it's like a demon hand now. And then when she turns around, her face is completely different. She starts flowing from the mouth, and then the other girl goes to run away, and she gets her throat slashed. And then we cut back into the movie, and we see the guys chasing down the other girl with a knife as she's screaming like an idiot. Then we see the other girl running away from Rosemary, and she's now stuck in between some red curtains, and she can't get her out, and her face is all scratched up, and she's just yelling for someone to help her, but she's not going to get helped at all. The friend finally makes her way out of this red curtain of doom area and starts running down the hallway, but then Rosemary starts running after her. So she hides in a room and has a door cracked a little bit so she can look out. And that's when we see Demon Rosemary just run away. And the next thing we cut into the theater, and all it looks to be is the blind guy's left now, because he's looking around feeling for, I shouldn't say looking because he's blind. He's feeling around for Liz, but can't find her at all. And we don't see anyone else in the seats around him at all. And then we just cut and see Liz is getting on with the random guy that sat down with her earlier on in the movie. And then we see the blind guy getting up, looking at her. Why do I keep saying looking around? He's feeling around to see if he can find Liz at all. And Liz is like, oh, I gotta go. He's looking for us. And then the guy's just like, no, we're just gonna keep making out in this random red curtain area. I'm sure nobody's gonna see us or find anything out about it. But then the other girl who's got her face all scratched, she comes into the room where she's just looking at the giant screen where the movie's playing. And then as she's watching the movie play out more and this other lady's being killed on the screen, her neck starts to boil a little bit and blister a little bit, and then there's this big giant ball on it, and then it pops, and then there's green liquid coming all down. So then she starts grabbing at the screen for the movie for some reason, as we see everyone else watching the movie from the opposite room. She's pushing up against the screen, and she's yelling for someone to help her. Even though the person in the movie is inside a tent, we just see the knife going through the tent, but she's just screaming her life out. And then Cheryl's friend's like, hey, somebody's behind the screen. They must need help. And then we see the movie screen rip it in half, and another lady falls through on the like platform. And everyone's like, oh, what happened? What happened to her? And then Liz is making out with the other guy still. And then Rosemary comes out of nowhere with a rope and starts choking them together as they're trying to make out. Then as Tony's like covering his female friend who's on the ground, her hand starts to change a little bit, and then these giant claws start to come out, and she starts scratching the platform, and everyone's like, oh, holy shit, this can't be good. We need to do something about her, because that's going to cause some issues. And then, like, the girl starts foaming from the mouth, some green foam, and everyone's like, oh, this can't be good at all. And then the guy that was making out with Liz randomly just starts hanging from the ceiling. And everyone starts freaking out like, oh god, what the hell's going on in here? You see a very interesting effect, like the friend that's turning into a demon. They do a close-up of her mouth with blood's like dripping out of it. And then her teeth start like getting pushed out by demon fangs, which I've never seen done in a movie before. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I give them props for that one. And Tony's like, what are you guys waiting for? Get the hell out of here. Just start running. And then he goes to run out with the rest of the crowd. And then one of the guys just gets jumped on the back. And she literally takes her fingers and starts ripping his throat apart. And we see like the stuff inside. And it doesn't look fun. It looks very, very painful. But well done. And then we just had the blind guy going around, touching random bodies on the ground, being like, Liz, is that you? Is that you, Liz? And then we have Rosemary come up. She literally rips the guy's glasses off. And we see his eyes are very, he's got some scarification and whatnot. So then Rosemary's like, you can't see, all right? So I'm just going to poke my fingers right through your eye sockets. And then we have everyone, like, raging at the doors, trying to get out as they're hitting everything. People are falling over. There's a lot more people here by the looks of it. And the doors aren't opening because they're locked. And then we have some heavy metal music playing. I'm not sure the band. I didn't look it up. Anyways, then people are trying to pull apart the doors, and on the other side of the doors, as they're pulling it apart, all we see is a cement wall with bricks and everything else. And they're not getting out. It's pretty much the whole wall around every single door. Then everyone starts freaking out, like, oh, we're all trapped in here. What the hell's going on? And one of the guys like, there must be an explanation for all this. We must find a way out. I don't know where it is, but we gotta figure it out. And Tony's like, let's find the emergency exit. Yeah, Tony, the front doors are, cemented through, but I'm sure the emergency exit's totally fine. And then one of the random ladies goes into the room that looks like a storage room, and then we see everyone run by the open doorway, and then Rosemary comes in and literally grabs the girl by the head and literally starts ripping her scalp off. And then two other guys walk by and like, oh crap, let's try to shut the door. And then they're literally like trying to shut the door as Rosemary is trying to push her way through, and they're yelling for help. And then Tony comes up, he's like, ah, damn, that's my friend. So then Tony and another guy that's running with him, they both unplug a vending machine and push the vending machine up against the door to the point where they break off like Rosemary's fingers because it's like stuck in the door, and we just hear the bones breaking as she's pulling her fingers back through the doorway. And then one of the girls like, yeah, it's because of this movie, everything's coming alive. And Tony's like, yeah, that's right, to be honest with you. She put that mask on, the same mask that's in the movie, and scratched herself, and now she's a goddamn demon. And we gotta stop the damn movie if we want to stop the damn demons. And then we see the usherette lady, Ingrid, taking Tony and the other group of people to the production booth, and they go up to the door. Of course the door's locked, so they can't get into it at all. But Tony's like, I'm a badass. I'm just gonna kick this door down one shot, even though I just ran my shoulder up against it, and it didn't do shit. And then they get into the production booth, and they're like, it's empty. There's nobody here. And the one guy looks at it, he's like, yeah, these are automatic, they don't require anyone to be here. They just keep playing the film over and over again. And Tony being a Tony, he's like, we just gotta smash everything. That'll fix the problem. So he picks up a stool and just starts smashing, and then we see the movie on the screen starting to screw up. Like, see, I know what I'm doing. I'm Tony. And we see a group of punks just driving this car down the street, This is a pretty busy street, it's dead of night, and they're just listening to some music, jamming out. I believe by the sounds of it, they hot-wired the car, because one of them said, let's hot-wire our car next time, because this one's got no spunk. And then we have some Coca-Cola placement, as the one guy's getting handed a Coca-Cola. And, then we cut back into the movie theater as everyone's walking around being like, I wonder what's going to happen now. And then they're like, well, the movie's done, so they shouldn't be killing us anymore. And then Bill, I believe the blind guy, he's like, to be honest with you, it's not the movie, it's the movie theater, because this whole place is cursed because they tried killing me by ripping my eyes out. even though I'm already blind. And Tony's like, hey, there's a body up by this guy. We gotta go throw her in the stall with all the other ones, just, that way she doesn't turn and try to kill us. And the blind guy's like, no, don't take her, she's dead, she's fine. He's like, how do you even know that's your Liz? Because, you're blind, you can't see her, so how are you gonna know if it's her or not? And there's demon guy comes out of nowhere. So Tony pulls out this little switchblade knife and starts stabbing it, and then it causes it to fall off the balcony, and it just falls down on one of the other girls that's hiding downstairs, and literally just starts puking all over her by the looks of it. It doesn't look good. And we see the group of them all up on the balcony, and they're trying to secure the area, I guess. And Tony's like, yeah, you gotta do it faster, you gotta throw more of the balcony. And then the girl that they were originally gonna throw over starts biting him in the leg. He's like, give me my knife, I need to stab her. And then next thing you know, he's hanging off the rope that's on the balcony. He gets attacked by another demon, and then the kid just cuts the rope. Yeah, see you later, Tony. But yeah, cut back into the car where the punks are driving, and instead of using the straw to suck on in the Coke can, they're putting it in their nose and sniffing it. What the hell is going on with these punks in Italy? And of course, some of the punks start fighting over the can because they want it. And apparently there is no actual Coca-Cola in it. It's just complete powder. And then the driver stops like, you pick up every single gram. You just dropped on the floor. You pick it up now. I come back to the group of people on the balcony, and they're all just ripping the seats out and just throwing them up against the two doorways. Be like, yeah, demons aren't going to get in now. We're going to barricade this place, and everything's going to be just nice and safe. I know it. Then we couldn't find out that apparently the punk guys are parked outside in an alleyway that's parked near the theater because they keep hearing the bang. And I was like, it's just a movie. He's like, no, it's not a movie. Nothing's that loud. I guess their plan is that they keep beating on the walls loud enough that people would be like, hey, there might be somebody in there in danger, I guess. And we just see one of the guys using a fire extinguisher to beat the wall. And he pretty much gets a hole made. And then he's like, oh, look, there's a room inside there. We see water or liquid, maybe slime just running down the wall. He's like, let's just keep bringing it. What's the worst that could happen? Anyways, they break a hole in this wall big enough so that everyone can get out of it. And they start walking down the hallway, which is like a staircase down. There's a bunch of different rooms. Like, no, nothing all here, just dead end here. They walk into this other room, which is then just another room with brick walls all over the place. And everyone just starts freaking out, being like, there's no way out. We're trapped in here forever. And some cops pull up to the kids outside in their vehicle. They're like, hey, kids. He's like, we parked illegally. Let's just go. We're just going. As they try to hotwire the car again. He's like, hey, stop that. So then they run out of the car to run away. And then they run down this alleyway. And then they're like, we're trapped. There's nowhere to go. And then this random door opens up with a red light inside of it. Like, let's go in here. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And out of that same door, the blind guy gets out after the other punk teens go inside. I'm not sure how, but whatever. And then the cops are, walking in the alleyway. It's like, where'd they go? They're gone. They're just gone. And they walk behind this car that's parked there. And they see this guy laying on the ground, so they go to check on him. And it's the blind guy who's in full demon mode now. And I'm pretty sure he kills both of the cops at this point in time. And then we see two of the people, they're escaping through the duct system. And they keep hearing this scratching sound behind them. He's like, what's that noise? He's like, no, I don't hear no noise. Just keep moving. And it must be Rosemary, maybe, I'm assuming. Because we just see these clawy hands. But it could be any of the other demons. I don't know why. I just assume it's Rosemary. But then we see the punk teens are going through this area, which seems to be the basement. And they go up and through the movie theater. And they're like, where is everybody? It's pretty much empty here. It's like, I'm sure it's no big deal. And then with the people in the duct, I'm not sure if the girl that's with the guy just randomly turns into a demon, what happens? But he's like, it's impossible. It seems like it's in front of us now. And then we just see a demon face and him just screaming a little bit. And of course the punk rock people are in the lobby area now, and they're like, hey, there's a door behind this vending machine. Let's move the vending machine so we can get inside the door. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna be good, guys. That's not a good idea. Alright, so they go inside that room. They're like, it's just a dead end. Let's stupid. Let's get out of here. So the three guys go to leave, and then the one girl that's with them, the punk girl, she's like, look, there's a giant mirror here. I'm just gonna put my lipstick on as everyone else leaves, and then next thing you know, she's getting choked from behind by a demon, and she's gonna die. And then the punk guys, they hear their friend screaming for her life, so they go to run. But then as we see the staircase, we see Tony and the gang of demons coming up the staircase like, oh shit, we gotta run the other way. We can't help her now. Then the group on the balcony is like, I can hear something. I can hear help coming. Because they hear banging or maybe gunshots. I'm not really sure which one is. But then they just start destroying their own barricade that they made. And then they're like, come on, guys. We got to stop. We got to relax. We can't be jumping to conclusions here. We can't be destroying the barricade that's keeping us safe. But nobody wants to listen. And then like out of nowhere, all hell breaks loose because then we have Tony and a bunch of the other demons attacking everyone that's on the balcony. As we see one of Cheryl's friends trying to crawl through between the what's left of the seats to try and get to safety, but then a demon tackles her and starts putting his fingers down her throat. So she bites off his fingers, and we see blood going all over the place. This movie is jam-packed with scenes of people crawling on the ground to try and hide and get to safety, which doesn't really make too much of interesting plot points to talk about. We see that Cheryl and Kathy and I think it's George and Ken all make out of the balcony area, but then we hear more moaning and groaning as more demons start coming up the staircase where they are. So they start, trying to get to a different area, and they're like, hey, look, there's an air conditioning vent right there. Let's go inside there. That'll be fine. So they are discussing going into the duct vent area to hide. They're like, Kathy should go first because she's not strong enough to, defend herself. And then they go over to check on her. And we can definitely tell that she's starting to turn into a demon because she's like, where is this place? And who are you? And her eyes are slowly starting to change. It's now probably time that you leave your friend behind and get into the duct yourself. That way, the demon Kathy doesn't try and, rip out your brains. Kathy goes full demon form, and they keep saying her name. They're like, come on, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. And then I think it's Ken grabs the vent cover and just literally starts wailing Kathy in the head, dropping her to the ground. And the next thing you know, Kathy's back starts to change, and then these two little demon hands come out, and we see this demon creature slowly starting to come out of her back. Scratches Ken right through the chest. He's like, it's got me. I gotta turn into one of them. So then Ken's freaking out. He's like, just leave me alone. He runs off. I'm like, we can't leave him like that. We can't just let him die and turn into a demon, can we? Ken decides to, crawl himself up to where the dirt bike is because you got the statue mannequin guy out. Well, samurai sword. He's like, do me one last favor, George, please, before I change. Take the samurai sword and kill me, please. Please just do it. Do it, please. George, for understandable reasons, I guess, doesn't want to kill his friend Ken. His friend Ken's begging. He's like, come on, they're coming up the stairs. Just do it before it's too late. And then Ken goes to walk away a little bit. Next thing you know, he turns around. He's full demon form. So George is like, all right, guess we're going to have to chop off your head. Then we see Cheryl running through, and she's surrounded by all these other demons. And then out of nowhere, George is on the dirt bike and riding through the theater to try and save his new lady. He's fighting them off with samurai sword in hand. One of the demons actually falls over at the back tire of the bike and sticks his fingers through the spokes. And then we just see him revving the engine as the fingers literally start to rip through the tire. And then heavy metal music starts playing as they go up and down the aisleways in the theater, trying to get away from the demons. And while George is making a turn on the bike, he actually takes a turn too sharp, throws Cheryl off the bike, and then wipes out on the bike. Then we just see him killing a bunch of demons close up with the samurai sword, cutting their head off, stabbing them through the chest, and we see them grabbing onto the sword, trying to fight off death. But apparently one shot with the samurai sword just kills the demons for whatever reason. And then George goes to pick up his new lady off the ground, and then we see a shot from outside, and we just hear a helicopter coming in very, very, very close. And they're just like, what's going on? It's like, I don't know, actually, to be honest with you. And we see the roof of this theater break, and a helicopter comes crashing through it for whatever reason. They go over to check out the helicopter crash, of course. For whatever reason, George sets down the samurai sword, and they're checking out the helicopter. Of course, the pilots inside are completely dead, and then we hear the music starting to come up a bit, and we can definitely see someone stalking them through the theater. So for a reason, George thinks he can get this helicopter running again, even though it just crashed through the ceiling. And Gerald's freaking out because these demons are coming after him. But yeah, shocking enough, they actually do get the propellers working a bit on the helicopter, enough to slice and dice the demons as they get closer to the helicopter. And of course, George, being the hero that he is, he's like, up there, we gotta go up there. That's how we're gonna get out the hole in the ceiling. So then he has this harpoon gun. He's going to MacGyver some shit with a winch to get out of the said theater. All right, whatever, we'll go with it. And as Cheryl's getting on top of the helicopter, a demon comes up and she starts kicking him off. And then next thing you know, they're using the winch to winch herself up to the roof of the theater now that has a giant hole in it. Then as they're sitting on the edge of this hole that's in the ceiling, just being like, yeah, we just made it out. They hear footsteps coming up behind them, and then out of nowhere, it's the guy with the half metal face. He just comes up behind George and literally just pushing him, and now he's hanging in the ceiling on the metal root bar, and the guy's just peeling at his fingers, being like, yeah, no, you drop down there. You drop down there. And Cheryl comes over to save the day, and she grabs that spike that they use for the harpoon gun and literally stabs the metal face guy in the back. And that gives George enough time to climb back up top. Then we see George and Cheryl grab this metal bar, and they're behind the metal face guy, and they literally put enough pressure on the guy's back of his head to force his face onto these metal bars that are shooting up, which I'm assuming would fully kill him. And then they think they're safe now because they're up on the roof of the building, and we see them looking around. We see demons attacking other people. The music starts to pick up again, and they're just like, okay, there's a staircase over here. Let's just go down here and see what happens. We see them now down on the street, and they're just running around, and there's dead people hanging out of cars. Cars are on fire. We see the cop car where the blind guy, killed cops, and they just keep running, trying to find any kind of safety. Just see the two of them running through the city as everything's on fire. There's cars crashed all over the place, people hanging out of vehicles, and George's like, come on, Cheryl, come on, they're right behind us. We gotta keep running. She's like, I can't. And they run down this parking garage area, by the looks of it, and then this random Jeep shows up and says, hey, kids, come on, get in. We'll keep you safe. And one of the girls, it's a father and his two kids. The girl's looks like she's 16 maybe. And the little boy looks like he's maybe 8. And they're like, there's more guns on the floor. So the kid goes back, opens up bag, gives the guy George a submachine gun. He's like, where are we going? He's like, we're going out to the country where we can start a new life where there won't be hopefully demons anymore. Because they're just sticking in the cities because cities are bad for you. And then we see George and Cheryl standing up in the back of the Jeep, holding onto the bar as they're driving down through the city, trying to get to the countryside, as they're watching smoke and fire go everywhere. And then the outro credits start to play, and that's the end of the movie. It's a fun one. I like the demon effects. I love the special effects, actually. A lot of the demons look really good. It's a silly movie in a sense that how they make the punk characters just be something. And then, as the outro credits are playing, we see Cheryl actually playing with her throat. And then next thing you know, she turns into a demon. And then the little 8-year-old kid just shoots her. And then she's dead on the road as they're driving down the road. But yeah, I love the demon effects. I think they're really well done. Special effects look great. And I love the way the demons just look in general. Like the veiny, the fangs and everything. The sunken eyes, the yellow, jaundiced looking skin tone and whatnot. Definitely well worth the watch. And like I said, you can find it for free on YouTube. So that's always a plus as well. And the copy of it is really not that bad. Just, some spots are a little dark and grainy. But definitely very, very watchable. So definitely highly recommend this one. On the Rotten scale out of 10, I'm giving this one a 7.5. So hopefully you guys will check it out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Which brings us to a part of time in this podcast where we got to pick next week's episode. Alright, so I picked a movie we're going to watch. This is the first time watch for me. I believe it's 1983. We're going to watch Curtains because it's free as well to watch on YouTube. So, go check it out before someone takes it down. But yeah, definitely go check it out if you guys want to. If not, just wait till next week's episode where you listen to me discuss the movie at hand. But anyways, until next time, make sure to check out the outro band, Toronto-based horror band, Blood Opera. They got some new stuff coming out soon. You can find them on all social medias, Instagram, I'm pretty sure probably X, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. Check out their Spotify channel. That'd be awesome. Give them some reviews and all that fun stuff. And also check out the Etsy shop that they are running as well. Links will all be down in the description below. And as always, you can find me on all social medias at Typhonsign, Facebook page, X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok. I'm forgetting some things, but also YouTube, because the YouTube channel is a big thing. So definitely go check out the YouTube channel. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, where we have the weekly gaming video that comes out every Wednesday. We have old episodes of the podcast coming out,
and then we have a bunch of other various short videos coming out, as well as live streams, and the live streams over on the Twitch channel as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll see you back again next week. Until then, I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace.